Jumper stars Hayden Christensen, Samuel L. Jackson, Jamie Bell, Rachel Bilson, and Diane Lane. It was based on a novel by Stephen Gould and was adapted to the screen by David Goyer, Jim Yules, and Simon Kinberg, whose collective writing credits include Batman Begins, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Fight Club. The film was directed by David Lehman, who directed The Bourne Identity and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. At the age of 15, David Rice, played by Hayden Christensen, learned that he had an extraordinary ability to teleport. He realizes that with this ability, he can have anything that he wants, and that's exactly what he gets. Whether it's lunch on top of the Sphinx or surfing in Fiji, he is really living the life. When David meets up with a fellow jumper named Griffin, played by Jamie Bell, he discovers that the ability has been around for centuries and that there is a group of people who have sworn to kill jumpers. This group is led by Roland, played by Samuel L. Jackson. David teams up with Griffin in order to stop Roland and save his childhood love, Millie, played by Rachel Bilson. Okay.
Heard a loud noise, saw flames, and ran for safety.
Don't think you'll be needing that umbrella.
You never know.
They live a life others only dream of. No limits, no boundaries.
What? You think you're the only one?
But their freedom comes with a price.
There's something you're not telling me. If you don't want to tell me everything, that's fine. But just don't lie to me.
You think you can jump all over the place and nothing's gonna happen? But they've noticed.
Don't run. I just want to ask you some questions. You think you could go on like this forever? Living like this with no consequences? There are always consequences.
What did you tell him? What did you tell him?
Welcome to the war.
Take a deep breath.
It's not as easy as it looks.
I really enjoyed this movie. Even though the film wasn't based on a comic book, it had a really strong comic book movie feel to it. Start over, don't worry about the clapper, just shh. Okay, hold on, don't even worry about moving it. Let me see, I got it. I really enjoyed this movie. Even though it wasn't based on a comic book, it had a really strong comic book movie feel to it. That probably came from the fact that a few of the writers that worked on this movie had also worked on other comic book movies like Batman Begins, X-Men 3, and the Blade series. The film had a few really good performances. It should probably go without saying that Samuel L. Jackson was one of those great performances, but Hayden Christensen was really believable as the fun-loving jumper David. Rachel Bilson and Jamie Bell also gave very good performances, and they were sometimes very humorous performances. The film also looked amazing, with great visual effects and settings. Several scenes took place in great settings like the Colosseum in Rome and the Pyramids of Egypt, even on top of the Empire State Building. One little problem I saw with the film was that I felt some of the B stories could have been developed a little bit more. There's a side story about David's parents, played by Michael Rooker and Diane Lane, which seemed really underdeveloped. The film also had quite a bit of action in it, although sometimes it felt a little forced. Sometimes the plot seemed to jump around too much, just like the characters in the movies. The movie had only a few flaws, but those seemed to be all of them. The bottom line is that this was a very good movie visually. The special effects really made the film, and the acting was on par with the visuals. The writing was a little shaky, but overall it was a very enjoyable flick.
All right. Get up the next one.